You go to work for a normal work day, but then you get injured. How do you know if your employer is supposed to help you in your recovery? Well, we're going to ask the lawyer today with Dan Jones, who's an attorney with Tapella and Eberspacher law firm in Charleston, Mattoon. It's good to have you.
Good to be here. Thank you very much.
Interesting question. We were joking, but like if I'm on the job, so after our interview, I walk out the front door and fall and injure myself. I'm doing company work. Would I be able to ask the station to help me? Because this is a situation a lot of people face.
And in this situation, I think you would. The employee that is working off-site is covered in a number of different situations. Now, you're not covered if you are taking your normal drive to work and you haven't clocked in yet. You are probably not covered by work comp. But if you are out on assignment, if they send you on an errand, you are probably covered by work comp. People think that you have to be at the work site to be covered by work comp, and that's not necessarily true. If you get sent to another work site and you're injured either in transit or at that work site, you're covered by work comp. So you can be covered when you're off-site. There are times when you have to go to a work event after hours, and the classic example is the salesman who's entertaining clients, and if you are injured in some way, you are covered by work comp, but you need to remember that if you're injured solely because of your own intoxication, you're not covered by work comp. So
something to keep in mind. And that's not going to be the case for most people in a work environment. But if there's lots of people who get sent, you have a party in the office, and you get injured while you're going to the store to pick up the cake or whatnot, that you would be able to ask for assistance with that, right?
And there are people that never go to the main office. There are traveling employees, people that are traveling salesmen, people that get sent for week-long assignments somewhere. And as long as you are doing something to further the employer's business and the injury is reasonably foreseeable, then you are also covered by work comp in that situation as well.
So we're talking about their off-site instances where something might happen. What if you get injured on the job, on the site of work where you're doing your job?
And it's a good question, because people think that if you are at the site and you are on the clock, then you're covered by work comp, and that's not necessarily the case. If you are just walking down the hallway and you trip over your own 2 feet, you're not covered by work comp for the injury that you have. You have to be doing something the work creates a risk of injury for, and that can be a pretty broad definition, but so long as you are doing something that the work creates a risk of injury for, you're covered.
So if someone's hurt in one of these situations, what do you do? I mean, who do you see, and do you automatically contact an attorney, and when's the right time to do that?
Well, it's important to talk to an attorney right away, but the first thing you need to do is tell your supervisor. If you don't tell someone at work that you've been injured, that can bar your claim later. So you have a time within which you have to report your injury to your employer. And you will probably be dealing then with the HR department or the work comp insurance company, and they will deal with you and start talking about medical care. You should also start to talk to your own doctor about what's wrong if you think you've got a work injury. And people think that because they have reported it to their employer, they have filed a work comp claim, and that's not necessarily true. You must file a claim with the Illinois Workers' Compensation Commission, which is up in Chicago. And you have to file a document called the Application for Adjustment of Claim. And if you don't file that document up in Chicago within a certain time frame, your claim can be barred by the statute of limitations.
So you're hoping, too, that you're going to partner with your employer to get the medical care you need, because ultimately that's the goal, is to make sure that you are fully rehabilitated.
Absolutely.
But sometimes you don't have employers that you can count on or who are going to give you short shrift. So what do you do at that point when you feel like you're not really getting cooperation?
That's really the time you need to get the lawyer involved, and the lawyer can sit down and talk to you about all the benefits that you might be entitled to, some of the like the statute of limitations, some of the things, the obligations you've got to do, and get your paperwork on file, and get you assigned to the right work comp site, and tell you how the system works.
Yeah, interesting. And that's something we can come see you for.
Absolutely.
That's good. You do a lot of these cases?
I do a lot of these cases, yes.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but when you need someone...
It is unfortunate, but we are here when people need us, and that's an important part of our job, and that's what we like here, is to help people that need us.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Dan Jones, an attorney here at Tapella and Eberspacher law firm. Always great information. We'll connect you online, that if you have an instance like this and you think you need some additional assistance from a qualified attorney with experience, this is the guy that you want to see, and we'll connect you online to Tapella and Eberspacher at CILiving.tv.
And a big thanks to Tapella and Eberspacher for sponsoring our Ask the Lawyer segment today. Connect with them online at CILiving.tv. But if you have a question for the firm, be sure to send us an email to CILiving@WCIA.com and put in the subject line, Ask the Lawyer. Send them your tough questions. We'll put them to the test.